Welcome back to a new post today. Let's today look at the most important topics that you need to keep track for governance for week 9, that's from February 23rd to March 1st. The very first issue is about the leader of the opposition, Rahul Gandhi, raising the issue of vacancies not being filled in the National Commission for Scheduled Castes. Now, this is a constitutional body that has been set up under Article 338A of the Constitution. 338A deals with the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. Now, this body functions under the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and it was established in 2004, and it is responsible for protecting the welfare, development and advancement of scheduled tribes in scheduled castes in India. The first chairman was Suraj Ban, and presently the chairman is the first chairman was Suraj Ban, and the chairman is appointed by the President of India. The structure consists of the chairman, the vice chairperson and 3 other members of the body as well. And the next is about a privilege motion now being submitted by Trinamool Congress member of Rajya Sabha, that is Sagarika Ghosh, against Jaishankar. The privilege notice against the External Affairs Minister is for misleading the House on the method meted out to the illegal migrants of India to US and them being sent back by Donald Trump. According to Ghosh, Jaishankar's statement in Rajya Sabha on the deportation of the earlier week contained misleading and incomplete information, violating parliamentary privileges of all the members for correct information and obstructing informed debate because of this in the House. Now, Ghosh is sought to move the privilege notice against Jaishankar on the premise that Rajya Sabha ruling allows if the House is misled by incomplete or inaccurate information, and this is what is done by Jaishankar by providing incomplete or inaccurate information to the House, therefore obstructing an informed debate in the House. Now, what are the key steps in submitting a privilege motion? Now, a member of the parliament submits a notice to the Lok Sabha Speaker or the chairman of the Rajya Sabha claiming a breach of privilege, and the Speaker or the chairman then examine whether the notice has to be admitted and whether they have to deal with it individually or send it to the Parliamentary Committee of Privilege. If the chairman or the speaker deems notice admissible, they will consent the member to raise the privilege motion, and the speaker and the chairman then can either decide whether the matter has to be referred to a privilege committee of the House, or they have to look into it themselves. The members then composed of the committee will investigate the matter of the alleged breach. The privilege committee then, after investigation, gathers evidence and hears the concerned parties. The committee then submits a report to the House concerning the findings and recommendations with regard to the alleged breach of privilege. The House then debates the committee's report and decides whether to accept or reject the recommendations, which may include a censure or action against the individual deemed to have been breach of privilege. The next is about 3-language formula now being criticized by the southern states, especially Tamil Nadu, which is in clash with the centre. Now, the centre has tied the implementation of funds with regard to Samagra Shiksha scheme with regard to the implementation of the 3-language formula included in national education policy. In a strongly worded letter to the Prime Minister, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has sought the pending money for implementation of the Samagra Shiksha scheme and also support to the implementation of the Right to Education Act as well. Now, the heart of the clash between the BJP-ruled centre and the DMK-ruled Tamil Nadu is 3-language formula, where the Tamil Nadu says that it is being imposed on the southern states with regard to Hindi. So, Tamil Nadu, let me tell you, has almost a century hold of anti-Hindu agitations. Unlike most of the states, including southern states of Kerala and Karnataka, it follows a 2-language formula in which the students are taught only Tamil and English. The Radhakrishna Committee, let me tell you, favoured Hindustani as India's federal language to be used for all federal activities, administrative, educational, cultural, while the regional languages could serve the provinces. And at the same time, the Commission also recognized immediately not abandoning English would be impractical. It said that English should have to continue as a medium for federal business till such time that all the provinces are ready for change, having spread federal language adequately. Now, the 3-language formula, it is this Commission that first proposed a 3-language formula for school education in order to enable every region to take up proper share in federal activities and to promote interprovincial understanding, solidarity as well as brotherhood. Educated Indians should make up of their mind to be bilingual, and also pupils of higher education and university education should have at least knowledge of 3 languages. This is what the Radhakrishnan Committee said, and on the basis of the Radhakrishnan Committee report, we had the National Education Commission of Kothari Commission therefore incorporating this 3-language policy. Then we went on to include the three-language policy, even a national policy of education in 1986, and now in 2020. Over several years, the centre has maintained that education is on the concurrent list, and therefore the implementation of the three-language formula is a responsibility of the states. In 2004, the then Human Resources Development Minister Arjun Singh had told the Parliament that the role of the central government in matter of implementing of three-language policy is recommendatory, and the sole responsibility lies with the state. Even Smriti Irani in 2014 had said that it is the states to finalize the curricula and the syllabus. Now, delimitation debate has come up, and Stalin again spoke of pro rata basis of delimitation. What is pro rata basis? It means dividing whatever is being allocated on an equal basis. Now, the southern states have performed very well with regard to population control compared to the northern states, and there is a fear among the southern states that delimitation now, which is going to be calculated, will be on the basis of population, and therefore the northern states would have more members to the Lok Sabha compared to the southern states. Let me tell you the first delimitation exercise carried out in 1952, and then the Lok Sabha number was 494. The second in 1963 on the 1961 census, and the membership rose to 522 from 494. In 1973, it was based on 1971, and it was locked till then until to 84th Amendment Act of 2002, which took in 2001 census, and in 1973 the delimitation fixed it at 543, which is at present, and this was followed in 2002, and also the next delimitation is going to happen after the census of 2026, which is going to be conducted in 2031. So there is a fear among the southern states that they would lose members, or they would not get more members because of their population controlling policies, which are much successful than the northern states. Shaktikanta Das has been appointed as a Principal Secretary to Prime Minister. Who is exactly a Principal Secretary? He is the administrative head of the Prime Minister's office. Now, the Prime Minister's office is the Secretariat of the Prime Minister that came into being after independence, taking over the Governor General's Secretariat, and the office holder is generally a retired civil servant, most commonly from the IAS background and occasionally from the IFS. So, Shaktikanta Das has been the Governor of RBI, and now he is going to take over as the 13th. P.K. Mishra is now the currently Principal Secretary 1. Shaktikanta Das will be the Principal Secretary 2 to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And the Law Ministry now pulled back the draft amendment bill to the Advocates Act of 1961. What exactly is this Advocates Act of 1961, and why have there been criticisms? It is a law that governs the legal profession, barring the establishing the Bar Council of India, state bar councils as well to regulate the practice of law, setting qualifications to become an advocate, defining the code of conduct of lawyers, outlining disciplinary provisions with regard to violations, essentially the legal practitioner, and the right to practice across the country. It also sets and defines standards with regard to legal education and determines which law degrees qualify individuals to become advocates. Now, the key points of Advocates Act are it creates a unified legal profession. It created a single class of legal practitioners called advocates who can practice in any court across India. It establishes Bar Council of India at national level and state level to manage the legal profession and maintain roles of advocates. To become an advocate, one must prescribe the fulfilled qualification with regard to the Bar Council. They should also clear the Bar Council examinations as well. It defines ethical standards and professional conduct for advocates, which they must adhere to while practicing law. It also has disciplinary action against advocate to violate the code of conduct, including suspension of them and removal of them from the bar. And it also provides for designating senior advocates based on merit and experience. So this is about the Bar Council, the Advocates Act of 1961. And the Law Ministry has taken away the bill, drawn back the bill with regard to the amendments. The Law Ministry published the bill on February 13 to solicit the public comments. It proposed sweeping changes, allowing the centre to influence the functioning of the BCI, governing entry of foreign lawyers, restricting lawyers' right to protest. The lawyers across the courts stopped their work earlier this month. Multiple curriculars from coordination committees of all the district court bar associations stated that the decision was taken unanimously against a proposed unjust, fair and biased bill. And with regard to, and because of a flurry of letters sent to the government, the ministry therefore withdrew the bill, saying that it will bring up a much more amended form. Kashi Tamil Sangamam 3.0 is taking place in Kashi in Prayagraj once again, and it is to uphold the spirit of Ek Bharat Shresth Bharat and to expand the relevance of National Education Policy 2020. It is conducted by the Ministry of Education, and also the Indian state of Tamil Nadu and holy city of Varanasi come together. The program is sponsored by IIT Madras in association with the Banaras Hindu University. Ministry of Railways has announced special trains for this. Now, the Kashi Tamil Sangamam is an annual month-long program that was started in 2022, organized by the Ministry of Education to rediscover and reaffirm and celebrate the age-old links between Tamil Nadu and Varanasi, and it was inaugurated for the very first time in February 19, 2022. The third edition is taking place at Prayagraj at Namo Ghat, Ayodhya, and it celebrates the Tamil cultural system of Siddha system of medicine, Bharatiya Chikitsa, classical Tamil language and heritage. It also features an exhibition of Sage Agastya, his personality, his contribution to health, philosophy, science, linguistics, literature, policy, polity, culture, art, Tamil heritage. Seminars and workshops on various topics are being focused on Agastya's legacy to be a part of the event. Sage Agastya is being the highlight of this year's theme and a system of medicine, Siddha, and also he is the first grammarian of Tamil language in South India with unparalleled contributions in various fields as well. Now, Supreme Court has called up the the NCR region, saying that segregation of waste is the most important for well-being of environment. Let me tell you that the Supreme Court said that segregation of waste starts at home, and it is the most important and vital component for well-being of the environment. Supreme Court asked the NCR and the states for compliance with regard to the solid waste management rules of 2016, which call for segregation of waste into biodegradable and degradable. The NCR comprises Delhi and certain districts of Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan. And if there was no proper segregation of waste, the waste to energy projects also would create more pollution. This is what the Supreme Court had said. The Supreme Court said that they have to file affidavit with regard to the compliance by the urban local bodies of the 2016 rules and their provisions, and they should be the submission should be done by March. In a recent landmark judgment, let me tell you, that is M.K. Ranjit Singh versus ORS versus Union and ORS versus Union of India, said that right to life, right to quality environment against the adverse effects of climate change is a basic part of the right to life, Article 21, and this claim with regard to the protection of the great Indian bustard and its habitat. Now, according to a recent report of Access Now, India accounted for 57% of the global internet shutdowns in 2024, a little bit lesser than 2023. India cut internet access 84 times, down from 116 in 2024. 116 was done in 2023, but it is the second most country with most internet shutdowns, according to Access Now. And out of the 84, 41 were related to protests, 23 were triggered by communal violence, while 5 of them were with regard to job placement examinations to do away with cheating. And at least one internet shutdown was imposed in 16 states and union territories. State-wise, most of the shutdowns were in Manipur 21, Haryana 12, Jammu and Kashmir 12. India has a Telecommunications Act of 2023, which is a legislation which regulates shutdown of internet. And according to the Anuradha Basin versus Union of India 2020, access to internet is a fundamental right under Article 19A and 19(1)G, which guarantees freedom of speech and expression and right to practice profession and carry on any occupation through internet. The court also mandated the government imposed internet restrictions must be temporary, limited, lawful, necessary and proportionate. Let me tell you, there were 296 government imposed shutdowns in 54 countries in 2024. 202 such descriptions recorded in 11 countries or territories across the Asia Pacific. Myanmar, India, Pakistan accounted for 64% of the internet shutdowns in 2024. India is going to submit its emissions intensity target by this month. And what is emissions intensity? It is the emission rate of a given pollutant relative to the intensity of a specific activity or an industrial process. For example, grams of carbon dioxide released per megajoule of energy that is produced, or the ratio of greenhouse gas produced to the gross domestic product. Now, India has a commitment of reducing the emissions intensity target to 45% below 2005 levels by 2030 and achieving a target of 50% renewable energy capacity to the total energy capacity by 2030. The government recently announced emissions intensity target for 9 industrial sectors by the month end, and they will have to be complying with these emission intensity targets, which are given by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency under the Union Ministry of Power. The 9 industries that have to comply with the energy intensity targets are iron and steel, aluminium, chlor-alkali, cement, fertilizers, paper, pulp, petrochemicals, petroleum refineries and textiles. And in the last issue, government has opposed a plea for ban of convicts for lifetime. So the government defended the 6-year ban on convicted politicians, telling the Supreme Court that a lifetime disqualification would be undue harsh. Opposing petitions seeking a lifetime ban on convicted persons or politicians from contesting elections, the central government submitted in the Supreme Court that there is nothing inherently unconstitutional in limiting the disqualification to 6 years. The centre said that there are several penal laws that confine the operation of the penalty to an appropriate length of time, and added that the deterrence is ensured while undue harshness is avoided. Let me tell you that Section 8 and 9 of the Representation of People Act 1951 provide for a 6-year and a 5-year ban on persons who are convicted within a sentence of 2 or more years. Section 8 deals with normal persons, that is the politicians, and Section 9 deals with government officials who have been dismissed for corruption or disloyalty to the state. The plea by one advocate, Ashwini Kumar, said that there should be a lifetime ban on persons who have been convicted of offences. The government said that the question whether there shall be a lifetime ban is not a question of the Supreme Court to decide, while it is a question of the Parliament, and this is a matter of law, and the Parliament, it lies in the Parliament's domain, and judicial review does not go into the domain of announcing or directing the Parliament to make what type of laws it should do so. So this is nothing but violation of the judicial review. This was said by the Supreme Court. And these are the most important topics that I thought I should be discussing you for February 23rd to March 1st. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video. I shall see you in my next post. Until then, it's very happy learning.